Hi guys, I'm Vanny Reptiles and this will be my very first video. This is going to be a care guide on leopard geckos. I have several, if you can't tell. There's a little Pocus right here hanging out. He thinks it's feeding time. I have 21 reptiles. I consider myself fairly well experienced on them. I am extremely diligent on my care. I am in love with all my animals. Please remember that these are family, not a collection. And yeah, we'll get started. Let me go grab a leopard gecko to hold. I'll be grabbing Cruella, my super snow eclipse leopard gecko. She is a baby still, so we'll get all into that in a minute. Alright everybody, this is Cruella, my super snow eclipse female. I got her from Red Rock Geckos. I will link them down below as well. But yeah, let's get started in leopard gecko housing. First off, to be able to have a leopard gecko, you need a tank. I recommend at least a 20-gallon long tank because leopard geckos are very terrestrial, meaning they have no sticky pads on their feet. They can't climb. I mean, they try to climb. If you give them space to climb, they probably will, but you have to be careful because they can and will fall off. So since they don't use the height out of a tank, a 20-gallon long is very important so they have more floor space. You can use a front opening tank enclosure like this, where it just pops open. Gotta do this one-handed. This is a 40-gallon that my girl Daisy is in. You can get a tank conversion kit, which I absolutely love. I put them on a 20-gallon. Actually, I put mine on a 29-gallon, which is what she's in. And they are fantastic. I will link them down below. Cheaper than most other choices out there, and to me, a lot better. And you also need, extremely important, at least 2 to 3 hides. I would go with 3 no matter what. They need a hide on the warm end, a hide on the cool end, and a moist hide for when they're a little bit sheddy. In their house, they need some type of something on the floor, a substrate, if you will. Loose substrate can be bad for them as they can eat it and get impacted. Do not, I repeat, do not use sand of any sorts, calcium sand, any sorts, for your leopard gecko. Calci sand, since leopard geckos need calcium, they will ingest it to try and get their calcium in, and they will become impacted. That can and will kill your leopard gecko. So do not use sand. I prefer, on the safe side, to stay away from loose substrate at all costs. Some people have good luck with leopard geckos and eco-earth. Do your research and make a decision what's right for you and your leopard gecko. I personally use, it's considered vinyl flooring, so luxury vinyl flooring. It's just these wood planks that you can see in here. I cut them to fit and they are extremely easy to clean. And as well as they allow the warmth to come through, which is very important for your little friend. So yeah, and along with decor, add some fake plants, add some textures. Textures are very important, so like cork bark, cork rounds, etc. to help them shed. If you have all plastic in there, they aren't going to be able to shed as well, and they can get stuff stuck on their toesies, and that is no fun to try and get off. Please make sure they have a humid hide. Otherwise, trying to get the shed off of them is extremely difficult when they don't want to cooperate. Yeah, hi cutie. See, Mommy, I don't like the lights, do you? She's supposed to be sleeping. It's daytime, but I woke her up. Alright, next we're going to talk about heat, lighting, and humidity. Well, a leopard gecko should, during the day, be around, I keep mine around 90, 92, depending on that is where it's at for these guys because they need belly heat to digest their food. If you only have an overhead heater and nothing providing any belly heat, they're not going to digest their food. If you do an overhead heater like a ceramic heat emitter, please put a piece of slate or a hide that retains heat. That way they can bask on that. Are you getting over this? Okay. Oh, okay. Do I have to change you out? And make sure for lighting that they have at least 12-hour light cycle. So 12 hours of light during the day and complete darkness at night. This is important because if you have any kind of red light at night, they can see that and they will not have a proper night cycle. Since they come out mostly at night, well, they're crepuscular, so they come out at dawn and dusk, usually when it's dark. They need that light cycle to tell them when it's day and night. So do not use a red light at night for them. And humidity, it's, for me, on average of 30 to 40% humidity overall, besides their moist hide. And usually this can be achieved at what your house is usually at. So there's usually nothing you need to do for a leopard gecko's humidity, which is great. They do not need UVB, but you can provide it. If you are providing UVB, you do not need to supplement with vitamin D3. If you are not providing UVB, please make sure you are supplementing with a vitamin D3 calcium. Do not overdo this though. Once, maybe twice a week maximum, because they can overdose on vitamin D3. Alright, next we're going to get to their food. These guys are strictly insect eaters. They cannot eat any fruits, vegetables, nothing like that. So their diet is going to consist of mealworms, superworms, waxworms as a treat, as well as hornworms, dubia roaches. They can eat silkworms, butterworms. Do your research on that. Appropriately sized, so it should not be any thicker than the length between their eyes. Make sure you are supplementing. It is extremely important to gut load your insects with nutritious stuff like carrots, various fruits and veggies, etc. Letting your insects be extremely healthy and nutrient filled and nutrient dense for your little friend. And then you also need to dust them with calcium every single day and supplementing once, twice a week with vitamin D3 and a multivitamin. Dusting is fairly easy. You put your insects in a cup, put the supplement in there, dust it, and there you go. I will link below what I currently use for my supplementation. Everything I mentioned today will be linked below. So yeah, make sure you're not giving waxworms too often because they are extremely fattening and not very nutritious. They are a treat, however, they love them. So now that you know how to take care of them, I'm going to put her back so I can show you what my leopard gecko tanks look like. Alright, this is my girl Daisy's tank. Here you can see I have cork bark. A cork bark round is extremely important. A, she loves to hide in that. It is on the cool side, so it gives her a place to go cool off at. I give her a hammock because they do like that extra enrichment to climb up and climb around. I will find her in really weird places, even though she's not a boreal, she chooses to climb. Make sure you have a water dish. That water has to be dechlorinated, in my personal preference. Some areas you do not have to dechlorinate it, it depends on your water source. I have a hide in the middle, generally just for an extra hide. If you look over here, that right there is her warm hide. That is where the heat pad is currently at. Let me get a better angle of this. Alright, now you can see that that is currently where the heat pad is at. So she goes in there to get her belly heat. The little green thing is a Stroodies bubble loft. That is her moist hide. I have a paper towel inside that and I wet it every single day. She's currently in there right now. She goes in there when she's feeling a little sheddy, and that's where she gets her moisture from. I have various things in there for enrichment like fake foliage, Cholla Wood, etc. That keeps her enriched, and I constantly try and change it to give her something new. As well as in the corner that she likes, she chose to go to the bathroom in, you can see that I have a paper towel. I have a paper towel in that corner. That is because that is the corner she chose as her bathroom. Therefore, to make my life easier, I put a paper towel there and I just change it every day or two. And I have a calcium dish. You can probably see it. I have a calcium dish right there. That is necessity I believe that calcium dishes are extremely important because a leopard gecko can become extremely vitamin deficient and end up with metabolic bone disease. Look it up. It is absolutely zero fun. If you want, I can do a video on that and how to prevent it, but one of those ways is making sure you have a calcium dish in there for them with pure calcium, no extra supplementation, and no vitamin D3 because they can and will overdose on it. They love their calcium. I like these Stroodies calcium dishes because the geckos cannot tip them over. If you give them a bowl that they can tip over, they will probably tip it over and play in it. They love their calcium. So yeah, that is all the information I have for now on a leopard gecko. If you want a more in-depth, and if you want a look at all my other leopard geckos, considering I have 6, please do so below. I will link everything I currently use, my favorite things in my leopard gecko tank, down below. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.